I have given you a high-level introduction of the OR mathematical model. So now let me explain in one more terms how these things are to be converted in a mathematical part. So now we are discussing OR mathematical model. Here, two things are uh, kept in the mind. Number one, we have elements of the OR model. These elements are used to define the models. Right? They are in the form of decision variables. They are in the form of decision variables. Then we have objective function. Then we have constraints or restrictions. One aspect is related to the elements of the OR model. Right? The other aspect are related to the mathematical representations in the form of symbols. So we are going to use mathematical symbols, and after that we are having mathematical functions also. Right? So now we will develop the OR model. As we have discussed, the first element of any OR mathematical models are decision variables. So they constitute the decision alternative. Since we are using mathematical symbols, so they are represented by some algebraic symbols like x1, x2, and so on. So, right, so they are represented by x1, x2, x. So suppose they are xn. So these are the decision variable. Obviously, we can use some other symbols like t, c, a, b, and so on as per. But primarily, they denote the decision variables that we seek to determine. So they represent the real life decision alternative, real life competing situations, and that we seek to determine. So first, the other decision variable. The second part is related to the goal of our problem that represent the effectiveness of the system. So this is known as objective function. So this objective function can be single, or this objective function can be more than one also. So initially when we consider linear programming and etc., then we have a single objective function. Then when we goes to the higher order topics like multi-objective, multi-criteria decision making, or the goal programming, etc., then we have a number of objective functions only. But these two lectures are devoted to the single objective functions only. So this single objective function is a function of decision alternatives. So it will be a function of this decision variables or decision alternatives. And we try to optimize, right? Optimize this objective function. Optimize means either we try to maximize Z, or if the situation is positive in nature, or we try to minimize Z if situation is negative in nature. Right? So this here we optimize the things. So, and as you know, this is the function of excellence. Right? Now, in the third part, we move to constraints and restrictions, which are imposed on our systems. So next we move to the constraints or the restriction part. Okay. So they are again the functions of function of the decision variable. Suppose we are denoting it by psi, right? And they are the functions of decision variables. Right? So they are the functions of decision variables. And since some physical limitations or conditions are imposed, so they can be in the form of less than, they can be in the form of equals to, they can in the form of greater than also. So normally we use three type of conditions. One are less than equals to, which denotes that not more than this can be used. The other one is greater than or equals to, means at least that much amount should be there, or at least that much condition is to be imposed. And the last one are the strict equality, that is equals to b. And this would be equals to some coefficient bj. So this bj represents the limitations imposed. Right? And these conditions can be one and more than one also. Suppose we take it as m. So there are the m constraints or restrictions are imposed on the system. And here we have a single objective function. Okay. And sometimes we also impose one more restriction that is known as non-negative restriction. So when we consider the real life situation, then this restriction is important. But when we are solving the mathematical optimization part, then that is not so much important. It simply says that our decision variable should not be negative. Means non-negative means either it would be positive or it would be zero. So this is imposed when we are considering it for some real life situation. So this is these are the non-negative restrictions that have been imposed. So this concept is known as, these are the essential components of operations research model. Right? Now that these functions we have defined, this is a function f, this is the function psi, it can take any form. It can have linear form, or it can also have some non-linear form also. In the same manner, these functions are also can be linear or it can be non-linear also. Right? Now we will discuss these aspects also. So before going to the further explanation, I will take up a case and we will try to develop an OR mathematical model. Is what are the essential things that are considered in that. So I am taking a case. This case would be shared with you. So you will have. So now first, this is the case. This case is related to National Furniture Mart. Let us go through this case. This case is written for an entrepreneur, that is Harsh. Harsh has completed his post-graduation degree. Being a freedom-loving person, he does not want to join any services, be it government or private. Moreover, he is by its very nature an entrepreneur. So he has decided to start a small entrepreneurial venture, which consists of manufacturing wooden chairs and tables. So the first thing that is important is he want to take up decided which consists of manufacturing wooden tables and chairs. So this is the first thing that is under consideration with the name National Furniture Mart. So the case is written for the National Furniture Mart, which actually constitute of manufacturing wooden tables and chairs. So here some decision making is to be there. At the initial level of the manufacturing, Harsh has decided to use only the single most popular style of tables and chairs. So only one style of table and chairs are to be manufactured. Though Harsh has a strong inclination towards entrepreneurial activities, but he is not well versed with the planning and management skills. So he has decided to take the help of his friend Ashar, who is considered to be good in planning and management. Harsh has explained his problem to Ashar and asked him to suggest the best possible manufacturing combination of tables and chairs. So the second thing that is important is best possible manufacturing combinations of table and chairs. He wants his suggestions for his planning, his monthly production planning. So the things that is to be taken care of is planning related to the production of tables and chairs. And this is giving the best possible uh, thing as far as manufacturing combination is concerned. The planning requires lot of information related to the production. Harsh has already collected certain information, and other aspects of the information has been collected by both of them, Ashan and Harsh. The compiled information is as follows. The table requires 5 units of wood, while chairs require 2 units. A table can be manufactured in 3 units of labor time and 4 units of labor time. So here, the first thing that is under discussion is related to the use of the resources. So one resource that is used is wood. One resource that is used is wood. The other resource that has been employed is labor. I am just highlighting these things. Table requires 7 units of paint, while chairs require 4 units. So the other thing that is required is the paint. And the next is number of nails required. So the other raw material that is required are the nails. We move forward. The demand of the table and chairs cannot be ascertained, but both Harsh and Ashar are pretty sure the city has sufficient demand. Right? So this thing is under consideration that at present they have sufficient demand vis-a-vis the manufacturing capability. Means all that is manufactured will be sold. The estimated profit of the table is 20, and from a chair is 150. Right? So we will mark it from some different colors. So this is the expected profit from table and chair. Right? So this is much related to the best possible combination that is to be employed. So this is the expected profit that is expected. The further, one table takes 4 units of space. So the other thing that is under consideration is the space. Is space, and 2 units for the storage purpose. Storage space requires proper airflow, and the space should be dry and insect free, otherwise the product quality may be affected. Now the next thing that is under consideration, Arsh is also considering registering his company, National Furniture Mart, under government's Buddy Entrepreneurial Scheme. Department of Small Enterprises is looking after the scheme, and for the registration, the manufacturer must produce at least, so there is a condition related to unit of production, that is a must produce 500 units of each product. Ashar has inquired from the Some Bank to collect information related to financing of the project. So next thing is related to the financing of the project. He has learned that the nationalized bank charge 8% means return on, means they charge an interest of 8% for financing the project. Then they have examined the resources available for the manufacturing purpose. Harsh has sufficiently large quantity of good nails. So the next thing that is considered is they have sufficiently large quantity of good nails. Right? Harsh has informed Ashar that as per the financial capability, the money available, there is no need of going towards the bank. Means this loaning is not required. As per the finances available, now the other things that comes out to be, Harsh can arrange 500 units of wood. So the next thing is related to, it can arrange 5 units of wood, means not more than 500 units of wood can be arranged. Next, it can arrange 5,000 units of wood, 7,000 of paint, and 5,000 units of labor time each month. Harsh has further informed that the money available for various raw material resources will be on month-to-month basis. So the planning horizon should be on the month-to-month basis, and they cannot be transferred. Further, Harsh has told that he will sell these 2 products from his shop which is located in the market. So there is no need of arranging for the shop, and which is presently lying vacant. And this shop also has an adjoining warehouse, which is in the good condition for storing wooden products and can provide sufficient space. Means again, this is not required that space should be arranged. So this is the situation. So if we go through the case here, as we follow the paragraph, the first paragraph tells us that there are two competing activities. Number one, the production of the tables and the production of the chair. So here the main consideration is toward the manufacturing combination. Means the decision maker wants to produce both the things. Means they want to produce chairs as well as table. But only the question arises, how many? And the planning horizon is per month. Then there are some resources that are to be utilized. These resources are wood, labor, paint, nails, demand, and then we have space. And then we have financing of the project, right? And there is one more thing that is related to the profit. Profit is not behaving like the resources. It is giving the motivation for the entrepreneurship, or motivation for solving the problem. So they can be termed as the objective. And when we move forward, then we observe that related to the resources, some are limited in numbers, like wood is limited in number, paint is limited in number, labor time is limited in numbers, but there is no limitations on the demand, and there is no limitation on the nails, and there is no need for going to the banks, as well as there is no limitation on the space. But there is one more thing, since they want to get that registered under government schemes, right? So the government schemes wants that at least 500 units should be produced. So we will have these conditions also. So at least 500 units of each product must be produced. So these are the certain things that are under consideration. Now we will take up this situation, this complete case, and we will try to develop the OR model. So now let me have one more slide for the whiteboard. And right. So now we will try to figure out what are the essential things that are important for the National Furniture Board. The first thing is, as you must have observed to the case will be shared with you, they want to manufacture wooden tables and chairs. Tables and chair, right? And they want the manufacturing combination. So that is required. Means they want to produce both. Means this is not the question whether to produce table or whether to produce chairs, right? They want to produce both tables and chairs, but they only want the manufacturing combination. So here these are the two competing activities, and we try to determine the levels. Here the question is not related to yes or no. The question is related to level. So this is the first thing that is under consideration. The second thing is we have to plan month-wise. Planning horizon is month-wise. And all the information that is given is as per the month, right? And since we move forward, so here there is one more thing that is very important to be noted down, that the expected profit. The expected profit from per unit table is rupees 200 per unit, and other is related to chair. The profit from the chairs is rupees 150 per unit. Right? So this is the expected profit that is required. This is the second thing that should be considered. This is the first thing. This is the second thing. Now we move to the resources part. The first is tables require 5 units of wood. So tables require, the first thing is related to wood. Tables require 5 units of wood and 2 units are required for each chair to be produced. So the first requirement is related to wood. The second is related to the labor time. So we note down the second thing. That is the labor time. So here the requirement is 3 labor unit time is required for manufacturing a table, and 4 units are required for manufacturing a chair. It has been given. Then the next one is related to the paint. Right? 7 units are required for tables and 4 units are required for the chairs. Then we have nails. Tables required 14 nails and chair requires 15 nails. They are the requirement. Then we have demand. Related to the demand, it has been given that there is infinite or infinite demand for both tables and chair. What do we mean by infinite? Means uh, whatever our the production level is, all those would be sold in the table because there is sufficient demand for table and chair. So if we produce the number of tables and chair as per our production capacity or the limited production capacity, all would be sold. Right? So we termed it as demand. Then we move to the space part. It is given in the case that tables requires 4 units of space and chairs require 2 units of space. Right? Then we move to the um, government condition, which is related to budding entrepreneur scheme as given by Department of Small Enterprises. So the government condition is at least 500 units of product, each product. So the government condition is at least 500 units of each product, of each tables and chairs are to be produced. And there is also one more thing that is related to financing of the project or the requirement for the money. Now we move to the further part of the case. As you move to the further part of the case, it has been mentioned that it has sufficient amount of nails. So if we consider the availability of these resources, so it has sufficient amount of nails, right? It has been given the Harsh has sufficiently large number of good quality of nails. So this is not limited. This condition is not limited, means they have infinite number of. And the second thing is, as per the financial capability and then the money available, there is no need to going towards the bank. So related to the bank, there is no need to plan. Then as per the finances that are available, Harsh can arrange 5,000 units of wood. So we should have This is availability. So 5,000 units of wood are available per month, and we have to plan for the 1 month period only. And it has 7,000 unit of the paint. So it has 7,000 unit of the paint, and it has 5,000 unit of the labor time. And it will be planned on the month to month basis. Now we move to the further part. It has a good condition warehouse where sufficient large amount of tables and chairs have been mentioned. Like in the second last paragraph, it has been mentioned that the shop is having an adjoining warehouse which is in a good condition and can store wooden products and can provide sufficient space of storing quite a large number of tables and chairs. Right? So again, if we move to this part, so this is also infinite or unlimited. Means they are not imposing the condition. So now we will take up this resources part. Here wood is limited. Here wood is limited. So they can have some implication on the solution. Labor time is limited. Means the labor time is not of the infinite amount. So labor time is limited. Paint is also limited. Nails are unlimited. Since nails are unlimited, so there is no point of considering the condition. So we are deleting this case. So nails are not required to be planned because they are unlimited in nature. Demand is again unlimited in nature, means sufficient large amount of demand is there. So they don't require any planning because here the planning is related to limited resources only. In the same manner, space is not required to be planned because as per the condition, as per the situation, space is again uh, quite in a large amount. So it is they are providing the limited, unlimited space. Right? So these are the situation that we have considered in this case. So as we discuss here, so this part is the first part that we have considered, that is related to identification of the problem. So we have identified the problem, that these are the things that should be under consideration. So here the first part is uh, what that entrepreneur Harsh wants, that is he seeks to determine determine the best possible manufacturing combination that is related to number of tables and the number of chairs. The second part is what the best is, that this is the objective or goal of the decision maker, right? That uh, it tries to optimize. Obviously here the thing are related to the profit. So here it is a positive thing. So the decision maker wants to have such level of number of tables and chairs, so the profit should be maximized. Right? So the second thing is that try to optimize. And now the last part is these are the things that are posing some limitations or constraints. So they are the limitations or constraints that are imposed on receiving receiving the best possible objectives or the goals. So here we have identified these three things. So let us mark them. The first thing is that is seeks to determine. The second is the objective. And the third is the there are certain constraints and restrictions that are imposed on the system. Now we move to the second part. We will try to develop an OR model. And this OR model is actually a mathematical model. So in the mathematical model, the first thing is the decision variables. So for the decision variables means what are the competing activities, what are the options available on which some decision is to be made. So our decision variables are related to, we want to determine number of tables per month that are to be manufactured per month. Here the planning horizon is per month only. Right? So determine number of tables per month, and then the second decision that is to be taken here is on the number of chairs that are to be produced per month. And since we are developing a mathematical model, so we assign the mathematical symbols. So let us assign a mathematical symbol T, which denotes number of tables that are to be manufactured per month, and C's are the number of chairs that are to be manufactured per month. You can also express these variables in the form of x1 and x2. So these are the decision variables. They are used to take the decision. So this is the first part of any OR model. The second part is related to our objective. Second part is related to our objective. And since we will develop a mathematical function, so this is known as objective function. Here, it has been mentioned that a table, per unit table is giving a profit of rupees 200, and per unit chair is giving a profit of 150. Right? So if we have decided to produce T tables and the profit from a table is 200, so the expected profit that we have from total number of tables would be 200 into T. So as we write this 200 into T, we have assumed something. What we have assumed? That how many, whatever the number of tables would be, always it will be give a per unit profit of 200. Means neither profit would increase nor profit would decrease. So we have made an inherent assumption that each unit of table will give us a profit amount of 200. So the total profit that would be there is 200 into T. Now we move to the chair part. As it has been mentioned that the profit from a chair is 150, and we have decided to manufacture C number of chairs. So the profit from the chairs would be 150 into C. Again, the inherent assumptions that we have taken is that whatever the number of chairs would be, always the profit would remain constant at C. So this is a profit from the table, this is a profit from the chair, and we are interested in the total profit. So we assign a sign of addition, sign of plus in between these two. So it will constitute the total profit, and we try to maximize this total profit. So this is Z. This is actually the maximization of total profit. So this is our objective function. Right? This we try to optimize. We try to maximize in this case. If the situation is related to some negative concept or relation, something related to the cost, then we try to minimize. So these are the objective functions. Now we have some constraints. So they are the physical limitations that are imposed on the system. The first limited amount that is to be considered is the vote. As we know that both tables and chairs are absorbing wood. They are utilizing wood. Right? Tables utilizes 5 unit of wood, and chairs utilizes 2 unit of wood. And wood is not unlimited in amount. So wood is available only 5,000. So this utilization can never be greater than this availability. So what is the utilization? Since one table is utilizing 5 unit of wood, and we have decided to manufacture T units of table, the total wood utilized by all the table steel that will be manufactured in a month time would be 5T. So this is the total utilization of wood by the table. Here again we have made an inherent assumption that whatever the number of tables is, the use of table would remain constant, that is 5. In the same manner, each chair is utilizing 2 units of wood, and the total number of chairs that we are thinking of producing or manufacturing per month is C. So the total wood that would be utilized by the chair would be 2C. Again, we have made an inherent assumption that whatever the number of chairs is, always the use of wood or the utilization of wood remains constant at 2. And we are interested in the total utilization. So this would be 5T and plus 2C. So this is the utilization of the wood. Right? And here the total wood that is available is 5,000. So we cannot have utilization amount more than 5,000. We will try to utilize whole of the wood, but if other condition has not been satisfied, then we can also have the wood utilized below 5,000. So this is the availability. So here on the right hand side, we have availability, right? So here the wood that is available is 5,000, and here the condition is less than or equals to. Equals to means whole of the wood is being utilized, less than means less than 5,000 unit of wood has been utilized. Now the second condition is related to the labor time. In the same manner that we have discussed for the wood, the labor time that is utilized would be 3T plus 4C, right? This is a total total labor time that has been utilized. Again, here we have two inherent assumptions. Right? What is the first assumption? That whatever the level of production is, always the labor time utilized remains constant. 3 for table and the 4 for chairs. And the next is we are considering the total labor time utilized. So again, the sign is plus, right? So this is the total utilization of the labor time, and total available labor time is 5,000 again. So this total utilized time would be less than or equals to 5,000. Then we have the third quantity that is limited in nature are the paints. Right? The paint utilization is using again these two assumptions are 70 plus 4C, and the total paint that is available is 7,000 as per the Bayes concept. Since nails demand and space are unlimited in nature, as well as there is no need of financing, planning for the financing, so we are not considering this aspect. So we are not considering these aspects. Now we move to the government regulation part. Means what government wants us, right? So the government conditions are for the registration that they are seriously considering is they have to get that registered, that at least 500 units of each product, means at least 500 and at least 500 tables and at least 500 chairs are to be produced. This condition should be imposed on both the activities, means both the activities must have a level of at least 500. Means number of tables that should be produced, should be at least 500. It can be 500, or it can even be more than 500 also, if these things comes out to be good as per the profit part and as per the resources available. So this government condition is the number of tables should be greater than or equals to C. This is related to government conditions imposed on tables. And in the same manner, government has also imposed a condition, or the department has also imposed a condition on the number of chairs. Chairs should be greater than or equals to 500. Right? So these are the physical limitations or the functional constraints that are imposed on the system. Now, there is one more thing. Since these are the mathematical model that has been developed from the real life, and when we solve this model, then this model will be entered in some algorithm, either by the manual solving part, or for the some computer part. So that algorithm would solve not the real situation; it will solve only the OR model part. So this model should be perfect in that sense that we won't have any absurd suggestions. So one thing that is important is, since they represent the real life things, and in here the real life things cannot be in the negative terms. So we also impose one more condition that is known as non-negative condition. So I am writing it from using the different coloring. So non-negativity is number of tables should be can never be negative. The number of tables should be non-negative. In the same manner, number of chairs should also be non-negative. So this should be greater than 0. Obviously, if the government conditions are taken care of, then this non-negativity part is not important. But we make it a habit that we will consider, we will always take up the non-negativity also. Otherwise, in some particular cases, we will have some absurd results also. Right. So now, if we take up these situations, so this is the real life situation. This is the real life. And this real life is being converted into an OR model. So it has been converted into the OR model, which is relevant or amicable for solving through some algorithm. So this would be solved, and these results would be imposed on the real life. So this will be the entire scenario. We will develop an OR model from the real life. Then we solve this model, and these models are to be imposed on the real.